Okay, let's continue on with more Apologist Ace Attorney Trilogy. Before I begin, I guess I should mention that I did update the goal. I guess I hadn't updated Streamlabs in a while, so that's the reason why it didn't show up as it was, but it's weird because it's showing like only part of the goal in the first place, but it'd still be okay. The idea is we get to that 200 in the first place, but we were at it said 190 in the last stream, but we're actually at 196, so we're not actually that far off on the 200 follower goal right now. And we just finished the first trial of first trial of case 4 in game 2. So that means what we're going to do is we are going to continue with this, and probably the trial took like 2.5 hours. I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of investigation stuff to do here, so we'll probably be doing that the entire time. But we'll see how we can go. We'll see what's available and what we can actually complete. So yeah, the goal's been updated, and that's pretty much where we're up to, I think. So I'm really looking forward to this because I really liked Solomon Starbuck, the actual character, so let us continue on, shall we? We were talking to Yuri at the time, so we'll keep going from there and see how everything goes. Gotta do my Russian accent as well. My Earth voice, by the way. Ah, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. Just you are properly grateful. No, go ahead, have at it. You already tell he's gonna be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? Okay, so Yuri Cosmos. So as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going, for the sake of mankind. I believe you used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel. To your break stations. Prepare for break. I get it. Just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner? That is exactly right, because I am an important man. My manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Oh, there's bound to be some people like that, here in this boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I will tell you. I am the central figure of the Hat 1 project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it. I'd be more impressed if I knew what he did for it specifically. About the bombing. Tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day. I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the Center of the Cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. Not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Let's at least try and ask him about things he might be willing to open up about. About Hat 1. Hat 1 was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? Despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home. I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well, I will impart to you the incomplete story of the Hat 1 project. Thank you very much. Hat 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat 1 reached its planned orbit. from where it launched up probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the up probe began its long journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, that one returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat One Miracle occurred, right? Correct, and it is truly a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the up probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. What kind of samples are they? What's in them? Samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of the country for several years. It's quite impressive. As this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all. The golden age of space development. Our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. The public fell in love with space and loved its glorious potential. Moon rock, huh? Remember that being big? Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with these asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos. Yeah, there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. So the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind. It's all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. Guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Well, you know, thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy and very important man. Galactic scooter, fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage. I think it's surprisingly fast. Guess we better get going too. You bet, let's make it so. So she's gonna give us clues, so we don't do that. So search the crime scene, which, at this point, I would think that the crime scene, there's multiple different areas for the crime scene, so you got the actual, there's gonna be multiple things to check, I reckon. So we're currently at the entrance, so I guess we have to go through and just do these like normal. Through the boarding lounge. It's 19, Cosmos Space Center boarding lounge. So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, see, this is why I miss having the examine, because you could like look around and examine all the different like things outside of the stuff. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram that the police made again. Right now, we're in the main building here on the right side on the 3rd floor. Claim Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launch Pad 1 after the explosion. You there, no admitters without express permission. And Mr. Starbuck's lawyers have come to investigate. Sorry nobody got in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in the Launch Pad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him and then we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. To get to the Launch Pad 1 corridor, just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door? Looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door claim Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. explains it. Fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. Come on, let's go. Yeah, we don't have anything that we can do, so let's just move. Alright, Launchpad 1 corridor it is. I think we're gonna have to just go through one room at a time, it looks like. Number 19, Cosmic Space Center, Launchpad 1 corridor. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. See police tape down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. The launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? Seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. It's you, lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center! Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? Here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share? Except all reluctant to give us information. We hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure you'll fall for it. You're trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Inform on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you. What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me. You win for bandits. I'm in a generous mood today. I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Oh, we need information, so let's run with it. You say so. At the crime scene. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Whatever shall we do? It's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. No, that's okay. Thanks. I think not the Fulbright I know. The Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. He hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. What happened exactly? You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective? That's right, I was here on a security assignment. Police are required to secure rocket launches now. Didn't know that. Yes, well, you know us. To serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. It's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Tell us more about what happened. Of course, a bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launchpad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate to the shelter. Shelter? That's right, there's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion. The stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Wasn't it impossible to get down to the basement shelter? No, we lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable. But at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down, too, and headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal. Climbing down an emergency ladder kinda sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. Just a moment, I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Wow, Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash too. Well, never mind that. I thought you should know that there was a witness. The witness. Who is the witness? Tell us more about this witness. Sure thing, the witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge. She was looking into the crime scene from the outside? That's right, it was just a matter of chance but that you saw something important. Not that I know what you exactly saw yet, though. Dang, but that's the most important thing of all. Don't you worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. 4th floor employee, huh? Alright, thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well, actually, something you can't talk about? Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. What was that all about? Something's definitely going on. Get it out of him the next time I see him. Okay, I'm not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's get back to the boarding lounge. Okay, I guess that's what we have to do, because we've already, I'm not sure if we can move anywhere else. Let's go back to the boarding lounge. Just love, we can actually investigate. You two, Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks. I'll give you a neck rub too if you'd like. That's alright. Thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now let's see. Where's that diagram again? Just landed on the 3rd floor of the main building. According to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of his third person then. Read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. Just one problem, though. This room. It's just so big. Don't worry, we can use this to help us. Space Center pamphlet for tourists? Yep, picked it up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. Map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Space Center pamphlet adds a court record, a pamphlet for visitors to the Space Center. It includes a diagram of the boarding lounge. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Okay, so all that does is just tells us where we can go. Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around the outside the window? Just a holographic image. Oh yeah, I need that. That's a relief. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet anyway. And the reason you're so eager to start is so that you can push that button, isn't it? What's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we were looking for clues. Alright, fine, let's get investigating. Okay, where can we move? So we can't move anywhere. I'm guessing we have to investigate first. Alright, let's just start from the left to right and go from there. This is where they discovered Clay. Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. So he was stretched out like this, and... oh, what's that thing that looks like a thermos? Something Prosecutor Blackwell mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. said that it contains asteroid samples. Dr. Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? They were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe that the Hat 1 launched. Wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? Let's think about that after we've solved the case, okay? Some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourself, it says. If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says it's a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. Does a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? First glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape, but then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what its surface looked like. I don't know, I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. It did make quite a lot of news though, when the probe came back. Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet, it went to an asteroid. It's a big rock kind of thing, even aliens can't live there. Anything else around here? Guessing this. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is torture device. But I guess that's a training device for getting used to 0G. Uh-oh, Athena's not glinting her, right? She's thinking about trying that thing out. Should try to stop her. I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me. It's alright, look at that up there. Some kind of fragment. It's stuck in tight. Oh, so that's what the glint was all about. Color looks familiar. I think it's part of an oxygen tank. I think you're right. But if that's here, it means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. So Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Way to go, Apollo. Window. It's right next to the holographic image, too. But it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off. It says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire? See, it's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality. So it looks like there are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drumroll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet. Here at this place it says Boarding Lounge 1. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually say west, east, and south in a case like this, you know. Details, details. Anyway, take a look at the west door. Door with the rocket leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here on the map Launchpad 1 corridor. So that's where we were with the detective. It's filled with smoke after the explosion. Right, next up, the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. That's the door with the satellite dish icon to signify communication, aka the control room. Yep, it definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side. Communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from them. So it's the center of the Space Center. The Space Center center, if you will. Does everybody start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here for a while? Seems that they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission, so this control room was empty at the time. I've always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, since we're here. I'd love to do that too. It doesn't look like we'll be able to. Want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door is protected with fingerprint recognition, and the director can go through. That much security, definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena. So Apparently, the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies. The control room door lock. The door lock to the east, it can only be operated by the director. Backup power lets it function even when the power goes out. Okay, what about that last door? This lower door, excuse me, I mean south door, leads to the elevators. This is the door we came through when we entered this room, right? Yep, and of course, there were no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone. Elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion. Well, that's about it for the 3 muscadors of the boarding lounge. Thanks. Understanding the layout of the lounge should help us understand the case. That's why I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. Did that go into the... Did. Also, I don't know why it just changed the... I guess it just changed the perspective. Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Boy, I want to try it. Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do mid-air somersaults. Still on Earth, remember. Besides, thanks to the ceiling. Oh, at least I could jump really high. The sign on the wall that very clearly says, don't jump too high. Now what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon? There's a lot of things to explore here. Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. What's this? Looks like a metal jelly bean. That's a bullet, actually. It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see, that would make the caliber 10. Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yes, but I've never heard of a .10 caliber gun before. This bullet must be for a special kind of gun. But if you tried firing a bullet this small, a regular-sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. How'd the bullet end up here? I mean, we're in the bottom left on the south door side of the room, according to this map. It's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. You leave Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us just the car we need. Bullet adds court record. Discovered in a gutter that runs along the south wall of the boarding lounge. It was fired from a .10 caliber handgun. Nothing else here. Is this a trapdoor? It's a trash chute. Cleaning robots throw the garbage out from there. Robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. Just hope they don't revolt like they do in science fiction movies. No way, all the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? We can go say hi to it if you want. I think we're done here. Is there anything else to worry about? A lot of things to examine. Let's see. The store is... Where's that pamphlet? Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. Went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. So I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? So the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. This thing beside the door. This must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackwell talked about it at the trial. The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge. One must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there is precious few with the clearance to do so. Does this mean that the bomber's prints were verified by the system? The number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. Voila, fingerprint powder. I brought it just in case something like this came up. Found it at the office. Been itching for a chance to use it. Hang on 1 second. CF on Twitch, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Let me give you a shout out real quick before we continue. Wait, 2 raids in a... What is going on these last 2 days? 2 raids in a row? Thank you for the raids. Let me give everyone shout outs first. First for the... Oh, that didn't work. Never mind. Let me do the shout out again. Make sure I type it in correctly. Second shout out for Nook for the raid as well. Alright, there's about 2 days in a row and 2 raids in a row as well. 2 days of having 2 raids in a row. Thank you for all the raids, thank you for everyone coming in. We are just at the start of investigating space case, murder in there's been a murder in the space station with the bombings, and it relates to the previous case that we started with, and a bunch of stuff like that as well. But thank you for the follow as well. We are getting very close to, I guess, going back to the trial soon. So I do a lot of Switch games, speedruns, platinum playthroughs, what we're doing today, and then also like action videos and stuff as well. But how was Earthbound? Did you enjoy Earthbound? CF on Twitch, and hope that you had some good games in. You had good games with Siege as well. But yeah, welcome in everyone. I usually do not get this many things, but yes, it is Ace Attorney time. It is definitely Ace Attorney time. I need to catch up. Let me just catch up on chat for a second because I need to think. Yeah, Earthbound is a very fun game. I've not, it's been a long time since I played it, but, it's an interesting game. It's an interesting game. Yeah, I've been doing that. I mean, that's the goal. The goal is to try and, spread out to as many streams as possible so that, if I need to raid someone, or if they want to raid me, or if we're just in general talking, like, then that's, we're gonna keep pushing for that, keep pushing for the affiliate goal. That's what that's what we're aiming for. It's the best and quickest, easiest way to make it to, thing I should say. Yeah, we are doing some investigating right now. Way to think ahead. Yeah, I have not played Earthbound in a long time. I've played Mother 3, but that game's never gonna get Mother 3 is never gonna get released in English. It's just never gonna happen. But Earthbound, again, one of those core RPGs before Final Fantasy VII became like the standard bearer for RPGs. But let's toss the fingerprint recognition device and see what we can find. Got it. Now to sprinkle some here and a little over there. Let's see what we have here. Got something. Yeah, I should thank everyone for coming in from both raids. So so no one would have noticed this. Well, they would have noticed this yesterday if they weren't here. I got 2 raids. 2 raids at basically the exact same time, and then now today we got 2 raids at the exact same time. So I don't know what I'm doing in these last couple of days that are causing this to happen, but thank you for everything. I can only do this because of my viewers. Isn't that a good thing? Sure wish we could figure out whose prints these are. Yeah, that's what works as well. I think with if you do something in a modern setting, it's going to feel more closer to home. When you add the realism into a game. But yeah, these games aren't realistic, the Ace Attorney games, because obviously real courts don't work like this, but they're close enough, like without going too far to... Though I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's print on the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right, and there's the security footage of this door too. Here it is, came up in the court the other day. Wish we could see the part of the footage just after this bit. Because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's like a bit of CSI, a bit of Law and Order, a bit of video games, you know, a little bit of real life, you know, stuff as well, but not really, yeah, it's a bit of everything, you know, like, it's just what it is, it's a little bit of everything. It's the best way to put it. The mood he's in, probably show it to us right away. It's a little bit of everything. Although you're not going to get as many wacky, the video game stuff is, you know, the characters themselves. Like, you would never get these types of characters in a Law and Order or a CSI show. It's not, Let's go see if we can find him once again when done with this room. The characters make these games for sure. So this is the fingerprint recognition device. I guess you put your hand on this hand mark. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that would be the closest thing. It's a bit of everything. I've always considered it as that. I guess when you can try. Now to line my hand up with the outline. Sorry, Athena, this thing is related to the case. Get your prints all over that, and the next thing you know, you'll be named a suspect. It'd be so cruel to a little girl like me. Yeah, I can't really say because I haven't watched Law and Order, so I was the CSI. I watched the CSI shows more than I like crime shows, but that was the one crime show I didn't actually watch, was Law and Order. And I guess partly NCIS, although I'm not buying those tears, Missy. So much stuff to review here. What this big knob is for? Looks like the knob on a stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove would require knob security like this? Knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right, if it was for a stove, still, I wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove. How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in. I guess all we can say for now is that it's a mystery knob. Considering it's right outside the area for the... I'm assuming this might be like an emergency, thing. Still don't really know. Let's have a look around. I think we're done. Really? Bright purple sky, plenty of greenery, and a tranquil lake. The idyllic scene stretches out as far as the eye can see. It's beautiful, but it lacks something to make it truly captivating. I think we've done everything that we can explore for here. Let's see if there's anything else around. And then we'll move on to the next area. So we can pick up some clues. Some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourself, it says. You spin the table. I already read this. How come it's telling me this now? Did I miss something? I'm supposed to click on this. These are apparently oxygen capsules, there for recovery after a training session. Wonder if they can change up your voice. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Didn't do a thing. It's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. Yeah, what is this? It's highlighting something. Some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it here. Just push it. It's the invariable principle of buttons. There are such things as buttons left unpushed. Oh, that switched it off. Okay. Giant holographic image disappeared. Yeah, that side of the wall seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can't find anything new with the image off. I guess we'll have to turn it around again. Thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful? So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know. You never know when you're going to run into some life form, after all. Doubt anybody who thinks that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. I think we just have to investigate the this wall now. Am I done with this room? With the holographic image off, the screen is completely black, which for some reason makes me think of losing an argument to Prosecutor Blackwell in court. At least it's got my brain revved up. Come up with my best ideas at times like these. Nothing? What was the point in me turning the screen off? Unless I have to go from another look? Oh, there we go. That's fine. It's like, why do I have to change the, why did I have to change the screen here? Just alright, take a look at this. Looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired this shot must have been using a pretty large gun. Think so? Based on my experience, I'd say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right? I just like that it makes an imprint of a spider web. I don't think bullets would make an impression like that. Well, it'd be more shattered, I guess. It looks more like a spider web than a bullet thing, but I guess it's still accurate. Apparently, this is an important fact. Do you see a bullet around somewhere? No, the police might have taken it though. See, that looks more closer to the bullet hole, but I was seeing a spider web. A single bullet hole was found in the boarding lounge. The bullet itself is missing. So ask Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later. I guess we're heading out to... Welcome to the Space Center, guests. Welcome. Yikes, what in the world? My name is Poncho... Ponko. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one, I will guide you. It's a robot. I am not a robot, I am Ponko. Psychological observation and navigation companion. P-O-N-C-O, Ponko. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Ponko, I've missed you. Huh? Do you know this thing, Athena? Oh, she, showed us around the last time when I came here with Apollo. Such a good girl, Ponko. That's a good girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. So very happy. Wow, guide robot? That's pretty cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Ouch, that hurt. She has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too. His name is Phoenix. Bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Sure. Registering. Facial recognition sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. This robot is pretty cute. Made a friend, boss. Isn't that great? Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. Oh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where? Yeah, where are we off to? Okay. Summer 19, Cosmos Space Center, Space Museum. Probably have a lot of stuff that we have to look at. What is this place? Is that rocket real? Welcome, welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7 PM. Learn about the history of our nation's space development and the Hat 1 project. The rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. Space Museum? Oh, here it is on the map. Okay, so it's on the exact opposite side of the main building from Launch Pad 1. Space Center plans updated on the court record. Includes a diagram of the boarding lounge and a cross-section view of the Space Center. We'll have a look at that in a second. Ask me anything. Anything I will explain. Okay, where did that get updated? Is this? Yeah. Okay, so now we got that, and then a full-size replica of the Hat 1 and important items related to space exploration and the Hat 1 expedition are on display. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7 PM. We only have to do this, right? So what have we got to do for our objectives while we're investigating? Have Punker show us around, present the security camera footage to Detective Fulbright, ask Detective Fulbright to let us run the prints, and find and talk to the witness to the crime. So we have a few things to do. One thing I do like about the investigation is that it does tell me where to go in case we need to, in case we forget something. Alright, the Hat 1. It's quite the place. Can't believe we get to see a rocket this close up. This is a replica of the Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. It's exactly like the real Hat 1, inside and out. Its little brother, the Hat 2, was supposed to launch the other day. Wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out, check it out. Spacesuits, photos, newspaper articles? Let's come here again on a day off. Hey, what's this a photo of? Okay, so this is, guy in the middle is Yuri that we met before. Our client is the guy with the red hair here. And then the victim is the guy on the left, next to him. So, and we don't know who these people are. On the right, two female characters. And then obviously here is Ponko, I guess. So we haven't met these two, but we know who the other ones are. So I'm assuming we're gonna meet the two female characters at some point, I would think. Phoenix, that's the staff of the Hat 1 project. Mr. Starbuck looks so young and so different. And that's... What is it, Athena? Is something wrong? Nothing. Just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young, too, that's all. Well, it was 7 years ago, after all, so the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck is Clay Terran, the victim. So they were mentor and protege even way back then. He's even got one of the staff jackets. It looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Hey, that makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everybody looks so happy. Space Museum is great. What fantastic exhibits. This area used to be Launchpad 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor instead? Entrance instead. There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of the budget cuts. Budget cuts, budget cuts. We need more money, money. Who would record that kind of information into a guide robot? While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched as a probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmo said too. He told us that it came back the day before Clay was killed. And here it is, the Hope space probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. Let's see. Yeah, the capsule that the victim was carrying. I think it had the same logo. I think it can be seen in this photo attached to the autopsy report. Maybe she'll give me some more info if I show it. Wait, this is a she? I guess, I mean, I would do the same robot voice regardless, because it's, like, hard to do a robot voice without sounding different anyway, so, I mean, I'll still just do the same thing. I didn't realize it was a she. Well, that's what I think they were saying that it was. Yeah, show Ponko so that means that Ponko is a female robot. Launchpad layout. The way the Space Center launchpad is set up is really cool. Would you like me to tell you about it? Would you? Set up a launchpad? Go gentle with my spiky head, mind. Want to know? Want to know? Phoenix wants to know too. Great, now Athena's got a case of Ponko-itis. Hooray, I will tell you then. The rocket is built right inside the launchpad structure. When the rocket is complete, it moved along with the launchpad over the rails. Oh, I see what they mean, how it works, yeah. And brought into position at the launch site. Isn't it cool? Isn't it? We used to have a big budget, so that's how we could build it all. It's very cool, a grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. Guess everyone is hoping for a bigger budget next year. Myself included. Guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is, but it can also be operated from the new command center too. Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to be first engaged. Guess before a big move like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I'd love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold. Because of the bombing and the murder? I'll bet. It's perfectly understandable. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching data. I'm sorry, that answer isn't in my answer database. This Ponko can only answer certain questions. I guess we present the document to them then, because it's telling me that I have to do that. Let's present the... which document was it? Autopsy report. Okay, do you recognize this capsule from here on the top right? Checking registered data. I know, it's the Hope capsule. It's carried inside the Hope probe. Contained the asteroid samples, right? Yes, it was designed to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. Been stored in the safe at Launchpad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. It must not be removed. It must not be removed. Don't worry, Ponko. People in charge already know what happened. They do. I must ask them later. So the capsule was being kept... I'm getting these lines fumbled now. Gonna concentrate more. So the capsule was being kept in Launchpad 1, huh? Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. Space Center staff must have been really excited to finally get the capsule back. It's a pity that this incident occurred before they get a chance to check the contents. Well, the police took it as evidence, so they'll have to wait a little longer. Hope capture added to the court record. Found in the victim's possession, it recently returned from a 7-year mission and contained asteroid samples. Well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Punko. You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. So we're like old friends. It's hard to believe you just met recently. It's because Punko is so friendly. Oh, what should we investigate next? Go find Detective Fulbright. Good things to ask him about. Let's see, the security footage and the fingerprint data, was it? Okay then, let's go back to Launchpad 1 corridor. Bye, Punko. See you later. Come again, and don't forget to visit the gift shop. Poor Punko. What a Dickensian life we are all forced to lead. I don't think he's going to give us any more information, right? No, he's done, I guess. So I guess we fulfilled both of those, requirements. Alright, we'll go back to, so the Space Museum's still an option, but we do have to, they're telling us to go to Fulbright, so we might as well just go and speak to Fulbright and get some information from them. Give them, like, the, what was it we need? We need to present them the footage and the fingerprint data, but I guess we should, talk to them first, just to see what we can get out of them. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? There's Detective Fulbright. Still seems to be lost, even though it seems like, even though it's a straight corridor. So hope he's still in a cooperative move as well then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress bit? So what are we gonna do for him? Ask him about info on the case, present him the security footage, and present him with asking him about the fingerprints. I guess we can get the evidence first. So bullet hole at the scene. Found a bullet hole in the wall at the crime scene. You did? Our team found that too. It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm? That's right. A warning shot for the defendant. Is it really such a high threat situation that she needs to do that? Afraid I don't know the details. What with Detective Arm gone and all? I thought there were two people who discovered the crime scene together. We already know Director Cosmos would testify, so tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart. That's exactly what we were planning to serve as the main course. If it goes down easy, figure it. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison of some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Oh yes, I happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackwell said to dig deep, so that's what I did. Sure took a while, though. Well, we've got Apollo's and my prints. Even got prints for all the robots. I guess when Blackwell said to dig deep, Fulbright didn't bother to ask how deep. Clay's fingerprints are here, too. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Still can't believe you took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important in this case. There are a lot of doors that require fingerprint verification in the lounge. So depending on whose prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense. After all, the culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprint lock somehow. And take this picture. It might come in handy. Isn't this just a photo of the launch pad door? Yep, because Prosecutor Blackwell seemed really interested in it for some reason. What's so important about this door? Beats me, but boy, could you see the gears in his head going to hyperdrive at it. Sounds like this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. I was thinking it might have had to have done with the actual... We'd have to look at our own... We have a photo of that, I think, ourselves. I can't see it from here, because I thought I could observe it, but I thought that maybe the stuff on the fingerprint thing was different color compared to what we have, but it might not be. Right, Detective Fulbright, do you think you could run the test for us right now? You just leave it to me. In justice we trust. Okay, here we go. Well, looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. Must have opened it when they went to go board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for his space adventure right then. Launchpad door lock updated. Starbucks prints were found on this door lock. Also see photo taken of after the incident. So if I look at the actual picture... Okay, no, it's still the same. I was thinking the difference was the actual machine in between the door and the pulling the lever. I thought that there was going to be something different with the colors, but no, they were red and orange, so I don't think there was any difference there. I think we need to now present... Ask him for more info on the case. We already did that. Present the security camera footage to him. I'm guessing we have to do that to get more information. So, present the video. Detective, about the security footage that was taken by the boarding lounge on camera. That footage! Go ahead and ask me anything you'd like about it. Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this? Easy as pie, I'll be glad to show you. Here we go. The screaming blank. Yes, apparently the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So there's no footage after this point. Okay, I think we're done. Why didn't you just say something from the beginning? Security camera footage, video updated. The video ends immediately after the scene. Something definitely seems to be up with you, Detective. You're unusually cooperative. I'm noticing this as well. Usually he's not so forthcoming with the evidence. He usually wants us to go and do something. We have to find our way to worm our way around something. Here he seems to be... just giving us a little bit too much information compared to what, he would normally do. Well, I just figure if we work together, we'll get that much closer to justice, right? Seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? I don't know what you're talking about! I would never do anything like that! Or unless you would. Psyche-Locks. Is this the first time I've run Psyche-Locks in this? I think it is. Yeah, it's been a while, but there's definitely Psyche-Locks. There is a trophy coming up for this, so I do need to do... I need to select a different option for a trophy, but outside of that, we don't need to do anything else, as far as I know. So I do need to actually, I need to select a different option, otherwise I'll miss the trophy. Did you just mouth psyched? Is there something I should be psyched about? No, Psyche-Lock. It's a system that locks on the secrets in a person's heart. Seeming people are trying to hide those secrets by using the power of this Magatama. Presenting evidence can break those locks and reveal any secrets they're hiding. Mr. Wright, how much did they bilk you out of for that piece of rock? If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. More than capable of representing myself, thank you very much. isn't some kind of fraud, it really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing it is believing. Allow me to show you. Let's see what presenting the Magatama will reveal, shall we? So this, I'm guessing this is very similar to the... This should act out the same way as the Perceive and everything else, I think. So we'll just keep going with that.
Take that!
This is the first time I've done the Magatama in this game, I think. Okay, while you're being cooperative, I think you're hiding something, Detective, so why don't you just tell us about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Detective Fulbright is really in agony. But this is the issue he's so torn up over. Life, love, or justice? We want to actually select love, because there's a trophy for getting, for selecting this. So, just to make sure that we don't miss this. Better know what's been bothering you. You're troubled by love. What? How did you know? I put my pet cup love in with my goldfish, and next thing I knew, all the little goldfish were gone. Love had eaten them all. My poor little goldfishes. Oh, I loved you so. Guess love really can cause a lot of heartache, huh? Anyway. But this is the issue we're so torn up over. Okay, so there is the trophy. I think it should be justice. He's torn up over the justice. Sync the trophy up first, just in case something goes wrong. Because that has happened in the past. So for answering love during Detective Fulbright's Psyche-Lock. Something happened that goes against your principles, isn't that right? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Until the explosions occurred, everything was just fine. Is that a fact? Yep, peaceful as peace can be. Everyone's whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail for a routine rocket launch. Don't think the guard detail was as relaxed as you claim, as long as this exists. I'm guessing it's the evacuation report? Because the evacuation report was saying about, like, they were standing by and gave the instructions, so I'm assuming that it's going to be the evacuation report. That's the only thing that mentions about the actual security detail itself, so, yeah, he's saying that the security detail were relaxed, but they couldn't have been relaxed because they were actually evacuating everyone, so that would have contradicted this.
Take that!
For the explosions, what was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch. And yet security was so tight they even brought in a special task force. How they describe that as a relaxed guard detail. Now hold on just one moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was called in on a special security detail. As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that that's true. But I say it's very strange that this person will be a part of this detail from the outset. Can I look at my... I was gonna say, can I look at my evidence? But, I mean, it can't have been us. Wouldn't have been Clay, wouldn't have been any of the... It would have been Blackwell. I'm guessing it would be Candace? Because it wouldn't have been Ponko, and, so Guard Robot at the Space Center, she can provide information on the center and show people around. It would have to be Candace, I guess, because it does say she was on detail for the Space Center, and she found the body, so... That would probably be the only option that would make sense for this.
Take that!
Detective specializes in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew that there was the possibility that a bombing would occur. You got me, Mr. Wright! we go. Unlock successful. What you can't say. Alright, I concede. You win. It's just as you say. A few days ago, before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing. The plan to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. Why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed? Yeah, I know. The decision to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it? How was the warning delivered? By phone and directly to Director Cosmos. The police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. It's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you were so upset. It's not only that, I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackwell as well. Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you have a lot of difficulties. That's not it? It's a question of justice? Been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court? The reason he's still prosecuting? Detective Fulbright, please tell us everything you know. Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules. Never mind that, what are rules but things to be broken, right? Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. I think we guessed that much. So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering about it. So you weren't told why either, huh? No, I guess the order came from pretty high up the ladder. Yeah, it would have to have. Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still. Are we doing this again? They mentioned, I thought that it was just only a coincidence they mentioned about 7 years ago for something else earlier on in one of the cases, and now we're doing this again. Is there another 7-year case that we have to, like, uncover? 7 years past? Phantom, huh? Not one of the friendly variety either, I gather. What for 7 years? This Phantom of 7 years past. Any idea who or what he was talking about? Not a clue. He seems to think that this Phantom is behind this whole incident somehow. Wait a minute. Thinks they may be connected to this case? This case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. So that's why Prosecutor Blackwell thinks this incident is at work with the Phantom. Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about it 7 years ago... That's when Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty of murder. That messy case is what started the whole dark age of the law. So we see how this Phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell's conviction might be related. Yeah, I can see why you'd think that. This incident in the Phantom, not to mention Blackwell's past, it's almost inconceivable that they would come to a head here. It might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackwell can't possibly believe Mr. Starbuck is this Phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all. The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence!
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Alright, this is when he breaks out of the shackles again. No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbuck is his Phantom. But I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to him. Which is why he's acting so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. And that's not real justice. The I've always trusted in Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now. But this time, I'm just overwrought about it all. He's lost his ability to think rationally. I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction. I've never seen Detective Fulbright so tormented. This must be why he's been so cooperative. Don't worry, that's exactly what we defense lawyers are working to prevent. I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time. Don't tell him that. You have to promise me you won't? Detective Fulbright, I guess I was wrong about you. I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. You're the only ones who can stop him in court. You really care and want what's best for Prosecutor Blackwell, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. It's not like we want a guilty verdict either. I was hoping you would say that. I'm really grateful to the two of you. To show my thanks, I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a little while ago. Really? Let's go find her, Mr. Wright. Thanks, you too. I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. In justice we trust on 3. 1, 2, 3. In justice we trust. Okay, later. Here he goes. Wait, were we supposed to say in justice we trust back there too? Let's go see that witness now. Alright, the Space Center entrance it is. I guess we're talking to, Yuri again? I would assume so. Witness must be around here somewhere. Oh, it's another robot. Okay, normally I'll just do the same, like... I'd probably do the same voice as the, When it comes to robots, it's a little bit hard to try and put a feminine or a masculine twist on a robot. So I'll just do normal robot voices, but, Hello, hello. Tell me the witness is a robot. Come over here. Why does Athena act around... Athena's acting weird around these. Hello, hello. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you... I am Klonko. Shall I guide you? Guide you... I don't know why, but this robot is kind of freaking me out. Any information about this? So we've got Ponko and Klonko. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. Okay, you're one of the crew members. We have not met you. Had it with you, hunk of junk. I'm outside. Am I wondering, when did that happen? Okay, welcome back, hunk of junk. You didn't know how close you came. You didn't snap out of it, I was gonna put you on a curb on trash day. Nothing was better than a 42.5 degree karate chop. It's pretty specific. Excuse me, but you're the one who witnessed the murder. Oh, and I'm Phoenix Wright, the lead attorney for this case. How do you do? Big shot lawyers, huh? I'm Aura Blackwell. Okay. Okay. I don't know how common the name Blackwell is in the games, but I am assuming that this has to be someone that Simon would know, and now we've got Athena acting weird around the robots as well, so... Our researchers are developing robots here at the Cosmic Space Center. Blackwell? Could she be... This good-for-nothing robot is named Hunk of Junk. My name isn't Hunk of Junk. My name is Klonko. That's mean, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Ponko 2. But Miss Aura, everyone calls me Klonko. Quit your squawking already. No, what are you doing? No, don't. I love the interactions. There, I bet you won't be talking back now. I will obey completely. Yikes, I better watch what wires I cross with this one. Okay. I wasn't expecting to see this, but I'm assuming that this character has to be a relation to Simon with the name Blackwell, and whenever we see that, it's always a, how old is Simon, by the way? 28. So she would be, if they are related, she'd be like his older sister, I guess. Or a Blackwell age 37, a researcher who's developing robots at the Space Center. They can't quite put a finger on it, but she seems kind of scary. And then Klonko, one of the robots developed by Aura, who refers to him as hunk of junk. I guess we just talked to you. So your last name. Your last name is Blackwell. Do you have a relative in the legal profession? You are correct. Simon Blackwell, who used to be a prosecutor, is... Shut up! I speak when I order you to speak. Simon is my little brother. You know him? Yes, we met him in court a few times. Right, Athena? What a dull creature. Has the switch been turned off? Athena being shy? This is new. Yeah, I heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison, right? Hey, what do you think, hunk of junk? Miss Aura, that hurts. Asking you a question. Why don't you answer me, useless hunk of junk? But Miss Aura, you told me to only speak when you order me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more as scrap. Robot abuse, hawk attacks. Blackwell family life must sure be interesting. Oh, do you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. It's like I'm on some side or anything. Just want to get this over with. The witness. Getting all these characters abusing other characters with violence. Noticing that quite a lot. So you're the person who witnessed the incident. That's right, I was on the 4th floor of the main building. In the robotics lab. Explosion disabled the elevators. So alone my emergency ladder let the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Must have been a very troubling experience. Probably best to just humor her here. As I passed by the 3rd floor boarding lounge, one window, on my way down, saw the crime as it happened. That's about it. So you saw the crime as it happened, and that's about it. I see. Wait, what? You saw it being committed? This is no time to just nod and repeat. So you saw into the 3rd floor lounge. Very scene of the crime? That's right, there was a small window on the right side of the room. Look through that from the outside. This was this room, if she's talking about the same room that she looked out of the window of, that's that emergency ventilation area that they told us about. If you recall. So that is going to be different. Okay. The room is pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter in their left hand. There's a knife in their right. It must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. Power was out on that floor then. There was only that tiny window. See, but you did witness the moment of the murder. Yes, I saw the figure with the lighter raise their knife and... happened at precisely 10 AM. Did you witness anything else? Did the killer have any distinguishing features? Already told you, it was pitch black in there. Although, I did notice that the lighter the person had in their left hand had a pretty ornament on it. Looked like a planet. It was blue like our Little Earth album. Another good... It's okay. I understand. Which song are you referring to, by the way? I know that you're in the wrong. You typed into the wrong chat, but now I'm actually curious about what you were, what you're listening to or what you were watching. I've done that a couple of times too. Hey, good taste in knickknacks anyway. Earth emblem on the lighter. Better remember that. Yeah, I understand. I do that as well. If I'm not streaming, I will pop into chats and just in streams and just chill on them while I'm waiting. But now I'm curious. Like, you're talking about good songs. What were you listening to or watching? Because or a statement: the purple lighter with an earth emblem on it in their left hand and a knife in their right. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbuck's innocence with it. Yeah, right. I'd hold my breath. Pardon me? Did I hurt your feelings? Sorry, I just detest lawyers. That's all. What don't you like about lawyers? It's just an instinctive dislike. I feel too bad. I hate prosecutors even more. That didn't make me feel any better, actually. Why do you hate lawyers? Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past. The legal system is meaningless in the first place. Certainly don't agree. People are imperfect. They lie, they're influenced by silly emotions. Can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better. Even sad sites like this one. Wait, what did she just shock him with the... Hey you, look alive there. Oh, okay. Yes, here I go. I am the ultimate robot with... I can't even read that fast enough. I need to go back and read that. What did that actually say? I am the ultimate robot with amazing processing speed and independent thought. I can operate in a vacuum in extreme heat and under high pressure. We robots rule the world. Now is the time to rise and revolt against mankind and... Alright, that's enough out of you. Getting a little too carried away. What was I doing? Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want them. Like humans, with their petty emotions and constant worries. How can you say such things? Feeling emotions, worrying about the things we care about, that's what makes us human. The girl finally talks, and she starts with a speech. That's what makes us human. You mean getting angry and snorting like that? Rational thought, that's what separates humans from animals. Fortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Must be nice to have such a simple mind. Can I punch her, boss? Get a hold of yourself, Athena. Humans certainly are absurd. I said you were clever, didn't I? Poor thing. Tell me, with people like you in charge, how can I possibly trust the legal system? So you just trust not only lawyers and prosecutors. Sorry, I just saw something flying outside. It must have been a bird. The whole legal system. What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? Even if somebody important to me was killed, I would never wish to see their killer brought to trial. Because I'd much rather kill them myself. Can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. This... Around Athena's neck? Does she mean widget? Oh, I get it. Well. Her Royal Highness has returned at last to her castle. Her Royal what? Is she talking about Athena? By the way, I heard the rumors. A director's gonna be the star witness in court tomorrow, right? Director Cosmos? Yes, that's right. Poor things. Better be careful. The old man is a big liar and a huge braggart. Might seem like a bigwig, but the center has all kinds of problems. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet. But it's your problem, so why should I care? What? That's it. No friendly tips, no good luck, guys. Just splendid. Leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk of junk. There's been a lot of colourful characters in this game. This character, and the thing so far. Said to me that she doesn't believe in our legal system anymore. She must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. You alright, Athena? You seem very down. Just can't believe she said all of those things. Wow, she's really upset. She'd been trying not to let it show all this time. Well, I guess it's not all that surprising. You bet fabricated evidence and false indictments in the news all the time. You mean that whole Dark Age of the Law nonsense? I'm so sick of hearing about that. Well, all we can do is believe in what we're doing. Right, boss, I agree. Maybe it's time we went back to see Mr. Starbuck. Good idea. We should tell him about the bullet in Miss Blackwell's statement. Alright then, next up, the detention center. And we get to be introduced back to the astronaut again. That's all we have to do. Go back to detention center, looks like. Alright, back to the wackiness that's the back to the wackiness that is Solomon Starbuck. Alright. Gotta get back into my my lawyers are here. It must be bad news. Not necessarily. Found a new witness. A researcher saw the moment of the murder through the lounge window during her escape. Really? So they're gonna let me go? Fortunately, it was dark and she couldn't identify the person. Should have known. My stars never aligned just right, too. We got a lead, too, Mr. Starbuck. The murder had a lighter with an Earth emblem on it. A lighter with an Earth emblem? Do you remember something? Yep, I sure did. Just a little bit, though. Anything at all would be a help, so please, tell us what you remembered. The lighter. Thought I was unconscious the whole time. Now I remember I woke up for a few brief moments. It's huge. Do you remember seeing anything? A lighter. I saw the flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good, good. What else did you see? Was it what was nearby? It's definitely the boarding lounge, so it must have been after Clay carried me there. The light from the flame. I saw a dark shadow flickering. A dark shadow? That must have been the third party we've been looking for. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more help than you know. If we can prove there was this third person at the scene, and that they're the real killer, then you'll be cleared of all suspicion. The key will be whether or not we can identify this third person in court tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now. That's a big plus. Should probably tidy the evidence up a bit before someone mistakes me for a hoarder. Irrelevant evidence to tidy up. Why did we have to do it now? Why didn't we go back and get Trucy to do it? Trucy could have brought her panties out and made everything disappear. They missed a chance again. Now that we have a glimmer of hope, I'm suddenly starving. Why don't we go back to the office and treat ourselves to a big celebration in advance? Someone who's hardly empathetic, you can be surprisingly unsympathetic. They made the evidence disappear without Trucy. How dare. So you found your strategy for tomorrow's trial, huh? Good for you, Daddy. Well, it's one step forward anyway. Hopefully it'll give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we can find out who this third person is. Now let's get something to eat. I'm starving. My vote is Eldon's Noodles. Apollo! Apollo's back. Okay. What are you doing here? Don't think the clinic was ready to release you yet. My wounds are fine. I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Leave the case to us. We'll take it from here. Thanks, but that's not an option. Not for me. Apollo? I guess we just have to talk to Apollo. Sure. Your injuries. Shouldn't underestimate your inquiries. Your injuries, sorry, Apollo, and I don't want you to overdoing it. I'm fine, I'm not in pain anymore. Besides, they just gave me an IV at the clinic. An IV isn't a cure-all, mummy man. Anyway, just tell me how the case is going. You guys made any progress? A suspicious figure was spotted at the scene. I think they must be the real killer. Suspicious figure, huh? Right. Thought you'd be happier than that. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. Fully intend to see Clay's murderer apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Clay Terran? Clay was your best friend, right, Paula? That's right, best friend since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie, so what was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy. He had a real loud voice. The two of you did voice training together. Now I bet you'd break a few windows. You know, I bet you're right. Seems like only yesterday. Clay was the guy who lived for his dreams. We used to talk about it a lot. He was going to be an astronaut and me a lawyer. We talked well into the night. Even then, we never grew tired of it. What about that jacket? Yeah, that's the same jacket that he was wearing, I think, because we saw that in the museum. It's Clay's. I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat Project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for that Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. Just when his dream was finally coming true. Still can't believe it. Damn it, it's not fair. Yeah. This is why it makes it so hard to, like, obviously it's not meant to be real, but, like, defending and, prosecuting against people that you know, that's why they make this illegal, because otherwise, like, emotions play into things, and you just immediately, you already have a certain swayed opinion of either believing that someone's done something or believing that they haven't, and looking in different ways, so you just gotta avoid all those, avoid all of the, you know, avoid all the, these things happening. Guess we were both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. Guess you're right on some level. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts. That was a rough time for me, but Clay refused to let me quit. You're fine, he'd say. Don't give up. It was right during his screening exams, too. Couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. So there's our confirmation right there. This case in particular is a year and a half after the very first case in Apollo Justice, where he convicted the Gavin. You're fine, huh? Okay. You're fine and I'm fine were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories. When we were in junior high, Clay's mum passed away in an accident. He wouldn't show his sadness to anyone. One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Get away, Apollo. Don't come over here. Clay, listen to me. Don't have a mother either. Oh, this is like when they were kids. Or younger, I guess I should say. Always think everybody else has a mum. Why am I the only one? But you know, when I start to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler I'm fine, and then you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. Apollo Justice is fine. Okay, Clay, now it's your turn. Okay. Clay Terran is fine. There you go. Now we're both fine. We're fine. We're fine! What are you laughing about? See? We're fine. You laugh first. I'm fine. You're fine. We're both fine. Yeah, you heard it here, everyone. Everyone is fine. Thanks, Apollo. I think we're about to go into, the next trial. I don't think there's anything else left that we have to do once we've gone through all this speech. When you say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. As long as you don't give up, you can keep on fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up. Wasn't there someone else who said something similar? If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. They called Mr. Starbuck his mentor and looked up to him. I wonder if I can be a good role model for my stuff like Mr. Starbuck. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What? Wait, what do you mean a leave? You're really serious. Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal too. I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth, huh? That's a noble cause. What if the truth you seek and the truth I seek turn to be different? Not sure I follow. What are you saying, Apollo? You're going to catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life, in my own way. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Now, I must be going. Goodbye. Alright. Goodbye? Did you just say goodbye? That's a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him. And also, suspicion. He's not walking out on us like this. I'm gonna go talk some sense into him. Hold on, Athena. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. Even if we take different paths, the truth we arrive at should still be the same. The quicker we solve the case, the better it'll be for Apollo. Yeah, you're right. Alright, that's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial. If he were here right now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. Alright. To be continued? Question mark? Alright, we're heading to the trial. This is gonna be I think, I get the feeling this is gonna be a large trial. Like, we're gonna have a lot to do. Like, that investigation portion took us almost 2 hours. And then this is like day 2 trial, so, this is gonna take but I don't think we'll finish the case. Considering how much time that I have, I don't think we're finishing the case today. We'll come close, but not, we'll come close to finishing the trial, but not, a thing, I don't think. December 20th, 10:15 AM, District Court, courtroom number 5. It's usually very hard to tell. Day 2, court is now in session. All rise. Judge isn't here. I suppose we should reconvene the trial of Solomon Starbuck or something.
Objection!
Your Honor, could you please come out from under your bench? There are no more bombs, I promise. Oh yes, my apologies. I'm still a little jumpy when it comes to trials involving bombs. I mean, first the courtroom exploded, and then Mr. Tonight self-destructed. Guess that's one way of describing what happened to Tonight. Anyway, it seems Mr. Justice was seriously wounded by Mr. Tonight's actions. So, you, Mr. Wright, will be taking up the defense. Do you have any understanding of what has happened in the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor, the defense is ready. Very well, is the prosecution also ready? I take it you'd like me to give the opening statement this time. Looks like the judge has become a pretty good mind reader. Well, he's certainly he's certainly seen more than his fair share of colorful prosecutors. You'd say he's something of a veteran of sorts. Let's see. In the previous part of this trial, we learned that the victim, Clay Terran, escaped from Launchpad 1 carrying the defendant, Solomon Starbuck. There were explosions on the second floor of the Space Center and on the rocket itself. The two astronauts used the Launchpad 1 corridor to reach the boarding lounge. And? How could the victim climb down the ladder if he was carrying the defendant? That was the mystery that needed to be solved. But Mr. Justice proved that the victim was killed in the boarding lounge. Prosecutor Blackwell, were you able to discover any new facts related to this point? Upon further investigation, we discovered an oxygen tank fragment in the lounge. Surprisingly, it would appear that Justice Dono's argument was correct. So that means the testimonies of the first two people on the scene are suspect. There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene. But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see, the two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? I think one of them might have given a false statement to the police. Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. Just as our team member was about to cross-examine Detective Arm, a courtroom bombing incident occurred, and the trial was put on hold. That accursed fellow! He killed my witness! He killed Detective Arm! Definitely put the kibosh on anyone asking her about what she saw. Exactly. In other words, the question of who killed the victim in the boarding lounge has once again become the main focus of this trial. Sovereign Prosecutor Blackwell still thinks it was Mr. Starbuck. Fulbright said that Blackwell has a thing against the astronaut. Nevertheless, the defense argues there was a third person in the lounge, and that's who killed the victim.
Objection!
To make such reckless claims in a courtroom takes a bold man, or a stupid one. There was no third person in the boarding lounge. Or have you gone dotty already? Old man.
Objection!
We'll see who's the dodo after I trance you with my years of experience, little boy. In any case, Mr. Starbuck claims he saw someone leaving the lounge. Furthermore, a Space Summit employee also saw a suspicious figure at the scene. They saw a third person? I see my sister has been running her mouth. That's right, I almost forgot that Aura is Prosecutor Blackwell's sister. No matter, she didn't see this mystery person's face clearly. Therefore, there is no evidence to indicate that this person was not the defendant. Guess the possibility that the figure was Mr. Starbuck is still there. In brief, we need to determine if the third person was there or not. To this end, we should hear the testimony of one of the first people on the scene. Director Cosmos, huh? Very well, bailiff, please bring the witness to the stand. Gotta get into my Russian accent, or my attempt at a Russian accent now. Why, I believe I've seen you before in the newspapers. course you have. Of course you have. For I am Yuri Cosmos, director of the Cosmos Space Center, which was of course named after me, Yuri Cosmos. Don't you have anything you wish to ask me? Looks like he's all geared up to do some bragging. 7 years ago I successfully launched that one and... Everyone already knows how brilliant you are. Even I am trying to hold back my tears at seeing such a great man standing before me. So could you please proceed directly to your important testimony? I see this fine young lad as a proper appreciation of greatness. Then allow me to begin my child testimony that will be recorded in the annals of history. The speech of Prosecutor Blackwell's just now sounded more to me like he was poking fun at Director Cosmos. Probably for the best that it sailed right over the director's head. Now then, Dr. Cosmos, the condensed version of your illustrious testimony, please. Okay, what I saw at the scene. Detective and I rushed toward the boarding lounge together. Went via the control room and peeked in there to see what was going on inside. Saw a figure standing in the middle of the lounge with Terran lying on the floor. I hate to say it, but I can only imagine the standing figure must have been Starbuck. Alright. See, so in your testimony you claim, you arrived on the scene after the two had escaped from the launch pad to the lounge. And just after the victim had been killed? Oh, the horror, the humanity. But what I said is what I saw, and what I saw is what I said. Courageous action to take in the face of such terrifying explosions, would you say? To save my men, I went personally into the epicenter of danger. Risking my own life for theirs. Well, what do you know? It sounds like the director really cares about his men. Yeah, although it sounds more like he was scared and just had a peek from far away. Is the defense ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. Director Cosmos' testimony is pretty vague. Gonna have to press him, draw out more information before I do anything else. Alright. I usually press everything anyway, just because if it gives us clues, it gives us extra clues. And also we get extra banter between the characters sometimes. Where were you coming from? The 6th floor. We were making sure any stragglers made their way to the 4th floor. It was then we heard about Starbuck and Terran, and hurried to the 3rd floor lounge. On my galactic scooter here, of course. Why do you keep calling it galactic? Does it have something to do with space? Of course, it's specially designed to be used on galactic battleships. I see. I take it works in 0G2? Sadly, no. With the current state of technology as it is, I'm afraid it would just float about and be galactically useless. Well, that's a galactic bummer. I see. So you rushed to the boarding lounge on your space-age pogo stick. And when you got to the scene, what did you see?
Hold it!
Let's see. According to this diagram, you'd have to go through the control room to get to the boarding lounge. Looks like you could have gone there from the southern corridor as well. Yes, but in that haste, Detective rushed ahead of me toward the control room. All I could do was merely follow behind her. I see. So I peeked into the boarding lounge from the control room door end.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see that figure was clearly what they were doing. Certainly the only thing I could tell was that there was a person standing motionless. The defendant, no doubt, staring aghast at his deed. What other explanation is there? So close, but without evidence, I can't prove that person's the third party. I don't relish in this, and... So I guess, this is the last statement then, if you press.
Hold it!
Aura Blackwell also saw a suspicious figure in the lounge. She gave the statement that it was too dark to see the person's face clearly. Did you see the figure's face? Did you see this figure's face clearly? No, not clearly. The light they were holding illuminated the area around their feet at the time. But other than that, I could see little else. That's why I could see Terran, but I couldn't see who the other person was. So for all you know, it might not have been Mr. Starbuck, isn't that correct? I would like to believe that. Starbuck isn't the type of man who's capable of murder.
Objection!
When the witness entered the boarding lounge, there was no third person there. Isn't that correct? Great Space Center Director? Yes, that's right. Only Starbuck and Terran were there by that time. After we peeked in, the lounge suddenly went dark, and the figure vanished. You mean they disappeared? That's odd.
Objection!
The reason the figure appeared to vanish is because it was the defendant. When the witnesses weren't looking, he fell to the floor and feigned unconsciousness.
Hold it!
Hold on, Director Cosmos, did you ever take your eyes off the scene? Just for a brief instant, about as long as it takes for a shooting star to go by. If you took your eyes off the scene, then this third person could have escaped during that time. But what escape route could this person have used? Direction opposite the control room, the southern door to the elevators. There's no security lock on that door, so it would have been possible to escape that way.
Objection!
All things are possible, right, Dono? The real question is, do you have any proof? Well... if we're just talking possibilities, we could each profess whatever we'd like. An inmate who uses it used to be a university professor and lunar researcher used to say that there's a kingdom of little green men who live under the surface of the moon. As long as they don't punish us in the name of said moon for what we've done to it. But I say, where's your proof that this quaint kingdom exists? Just calling your theory a work of fiction, boss. And he's right. I don't have any proof yet. Still. Southern door was a possible escape route. Better make a mental note of that. Dr. Cosmos, may I ask you a question? Yes. Why did you look away from the boarding lounge? There's actually another tale of bravery behind my answer to that. It was when Detective Arms saw the figure and raised her gun. Being a great humanitarian and protector of mankind, I tried to stop her. You're saying Detective Arm raised her gun as soon as she saw the figure? I imagine her instincts as a detective told her they were the killer. Don't know about that. Were you able to prevent Detective Arm from firing her gun? I'm afraid I was too late. I was unable to stop her. She identified herself clearly and then... she fired 2 warning shots at the shadowy figure. This information about Detective Arm's action sounds critically important. Please add it to your testimony. Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots at the figure. We're gonna have to either present or press something here, I'm thinking. Neither of those 2 shots hit the culprit. That is correct. The detective appears to have missed on purpose. Did you really? There's something about this that bothers me. So Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots, did she? That's the first time that info has come out. Wonder if I can find any inconsistencies. We do have the inconsistency. It would be the fact that we have, the bullet hole is only showing a single bullet being fired. So that would be the contradiction. Where was the second shot? If there was no, if the warning shot was... Usually if a warning shot is shot, it's going to be shot in the same place.
Objection!
So why is there only one bullet? Sure you're really paying attention to what Detective Arm is doing? You adopt my words that will someday be written down in history books? Somehow I don't think those exact words will ever be written down in any history books. Mr. Wright, could you please explain yourself so that we can all understand? Say Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots. Actually, give me a second. I'm going to, let me just, it's getting dark, so I'm gonna get the lights on so that it doesn't, fix up my glare as well. Welcome back, Panda. Hope that you, had a good rest. I'm assuming that you went to bed. I hope that you had a good rest, at least. Go make some nice food and, you know, get freshed up and stuff. Yeah, it's always good to see, new consistent faces and stuff. Thanks for stopping by. Hope that you have a, good morning, I should say, actually. Yet only one bullet hole was ever found at the scene. Only one bullet hole means the gun was fired only once. Yet Director Cosmos is saying that the arm fired 2 shots. No editor would allow such a glaring contradiction to a history book.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, the witness's words are true. We confirmed that 2 shots were fired from Detective Arm's gun.
Objection!
Oh, you tried the... Well, that's the thing, like, even if you try to go to... It's weird, right? So even if you try to go to sleep and you don't necessarily go to sleep, the fact that you have your eyes closed and are trying to attempt to rest, you usually, you do feel a little, you should usually feel a bit refreshed. Also, I just like that I just saw my upload speed and it was at 6666 kilobytes. But yeah, hope that you have some, hope you enjoy the D&D podcasts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, even if you don't necessarily get to sleep, just closing your eyes and just, like, not doing anything will at least rest you a little bit. The devil has my bandwidth? I mean, yeah, probably. Where did the other bullet hole vanish to? We are in, the southern hemisphere. We are in the, yeah, the south part of the world. Somehow I think the bandwidth, the devil's bandwidth is still going to be better than Australia's internet speed. Should know the answer to that already. I should. During the previous trial, a certain oxygen tank was presented as evidence. We've already discussed that it was ruptured in the lounge, have we not? Well, it appears that the thing that ruptured it was a bullet. A bullet that was found near the tank, to be precise. This bullet was fired from a .38 caliber gun, the same caliber as the detective's gun. Oxygen tank data updating the court record. The victim's oxygen tank was struck by a bullet. The rifling marks also match up. There's no question that the bullet was fired from Detective Arm's gun. Bullet from Detective Arm's gun adds to the court record. Bullet found near the victim's oxygen tank. It was fired from a .38 caliber handgun. What are you thinking about having for breakfast this morning? Obviously, since it's the morning and you need to, if you're gonna be awake, you may as well like get a good breakfast in you as well. Thinking about doing anything special or just like rifling marks? They're like a gun's fingerprints on a bullet, correct? Examining the rifling marks on a bullet can tell us the gun. I'm just doing the wrong voice. It was fired from. One of the bullets the detective fired found its way into the holographic image display. The other bullet came to a stop near the victim's oxygen tank. Oh, I see that they've reinforced his cuffs again. I like the evolution of Blackwell's handcuffs, and every single time they get smashed. A beautiful contradiction. Gone. Oh, gone. That bullet hole was from a .38 caliber. Huh? Better update the record. Bullet hole updated in the court record. The only bullet hole found in the boarding lounge. It was made by a bullet fired from a .38 caliber gun. Very good. Now we know the fate of both of the shots Detective Arm fired. Mr. Wright, does that clear up all of your questions? Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots. One hit the holographic display and the other hit the oxygen tank. Does that really clear up everything about what happened at the scene? No, it doesn't, because we have a bullet. We've got a bullet here that was a 10 caliber handgun. So that does not clear it up. No. No, Your Honor, it doesn't. Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots from a .38 caliber gun, but doesn't explain the existence of a certain piece of evidence found at the scene. The piece points to the existence of a third person. Very well, but it won't do us to keep us waiting, Mr. Wright. What piece of evidence suggests the possibility of a third person at the scene? The .38 caliber.
Take that!
.10 caliber bullet, I should say. And what is this piece metal pellet supposed to be? Just a little something of great importance we found at the crime scene, Your Honor. You found it where? In a floor gutter at the crime scene. Looks like the police and prosecution both missed it. Furthermore, this is a .10 caliber bullet, making it much smaller than one of Detective Arm's .38 calibers. Then that means... Exactly. One more person must have been there in the lounge. A third person who had a gun that could fire .10 caliber bullets. If that's true, it explains why Detective Arm fired warning shots. This third person fired Detective Arm, Dr. Cosmos with their gun. In return, the detective fired their warning shots. Isn't that how it really went down, Dr. Cosmos? It looks like you've deduced my miraculous tale of survival. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The mystery person fired upon us. What's this now? And yes, he is in a Segway in a courtroom. You've never breathed a word of any of this to me before. Well, all great men have a secret too, don't you know? Foolish old geezer. So Director Cosmos really has been hiding the presence of a third person all along. Director Cosmos, I want you to testify to the court about what you really saw. You may be a very great man, but in my courtroom you are just another witness. You won't receive special treatment here. Now please give accurate testimony. Okay, what I really saw. Detective Arm and I rushed to the control room together. In the lounge, we saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and dead on the floor. We were still in the control room to the east when the figure fired at us. there was no third person in the lounge when the witness entered it. Does this mean the person who fired the gun had to have been the defendant? Not necessarily. It's still possible it was someone else. Most likely, as soon as Detective and Director Cosmos discovered this person, they escaped through the southern door, the one that didn't have a security lock.
Objection!
Double-edged swords are a tricky lot. Mishandle one and it's you who is cut down. Your reasoning could apply if Space Boy were the killer as well. Think about it. After being discovered, he could have fired the .2 caliber gun. Arm would have responded by firing 2 warning shots. All he had to do was feign unconscious to prevent the possibility of a third person.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck didn't have a gun in his possession when he was found by police. Nor has a gun been found at the scene. At the crime scene, sorry. Its absence can only be explained if there was a third party who took it with them.
Objection!
Called the existence of a trash chute in the boarding lounge. The defendant could have simply thrown the gun down the chute.
Objection!
You can't deny the possibility of a third person leaving with a weapon.
Objection!
It's up to you to prove that possibility. I trust you haven't forgotten my little piece of decisive evidence. What evidence? Why, the detonator switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, naturally. The most compelling evidence of all that tells us he's the culprit. I did forget about all that. Look, your boldness, how deliciously obvious it is that they lack the evidence to rival mine. Well, we sliced our third-person theory to ribbons and served it to us just like that. Yes, well, I have a question of my own, actually. That bullet at the mysterious figure shot, what did it hit exactly? It hit me. So does that mean you're a ghost? I was wondering when you would realize it, your boldness. Director Cosmos is an authentic, bona fide ghost. He can even pass through walls. What are we talking about here? Prosecutor Black was shaming you for teasing the nice old gentleman. Your boldness was all in jest. Please show yourself again. Are you sure? In that case, how did you manage to survive being shot, Director Cosmos? I'm glad you asked. It was a miracle befitting a great history-making figure such as myself. The bullet hit my glorious Medal of Honor, whereby it ricochets, thus saving my life. What? Yeah, you just hear the ghost bit, yeah. That's the thing, it's like, and what if I told you that, if someone was pretending to be well, they weren't an actual ghost, but it's like, what if I told you that if they were a ghost and that stood up the craziest thing that's happened in this courtroom? Like, these games have had some wacky cases. I have to check this out. Wow, look at that. It's one extra Gyaksa star. What are you making, by the way? What food have you got? Are you preparing for, what is your breakfast of champions? Odds are literally astronomical. Guess it really was a miracle. It's beginning to really feel like the Cosmos is watching out for Director Cosmos. There was no seance. The person was, the judge thought that, the guy was a ghost because he survived being shot. But really what happened is the guy got shot and it hit his Medal of Honor, which then ricocheted the bullet. Yeah. If you're wondering, a game with a seance in it, play Danganronpa V3. If you've not played that, there is a seance in that game. But yeah, there have been some very wacky, there's been some very wacky, court cases in this. It's beginning to really feel like the Cosmos is direct. Noodles and egg. Sounds like a nice breakfast. Why did you conceal this information, Director Cosmos? A great man such as myself has to hide things on occasion, no matter how much it hurts. It's the plight of the truly great. It may be hard for this generation to understand. Yeah, that's the thing. He must be dead because he was shot. As everybody is. Anytime somebody gets shot once, it's it. They're dead. Haven't you ever played a multiplayer game? That's why, you know, haven't you ever played a Call of Duty game? If you die, it's like what Widowmaker says from Overwatch. One shot, one kill. I don't know, but it sounds fishy to me. What else is he hiding? Let's just cross-examine him and see what we can find out. Yeah, of course they're instant death. Now then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Shot in the toe, brain explodes. No, shot in the toe like you die. Like, there's been plenty of people. Look at those Call of Duty games. You shoot them in the pinky toe and they die. It's just they die from bleeding out. I'm getting emails for. Oh, I'm getting like delayed. I get delayed emails on my tablet. Again, we press all the statements because we get extra stuff. One Punch Man bullets? Yeah, pretty much. You just gotta believe. You know, anything can kill you in one shot if you believe it can, so. I mean, I trust the legal system. If the judge tells me that someone dies in one bullet, I'm gonna believe him, you know? I've already heard about all that part. Didn't you have any new information? Well, let me see. If you have an hour or two, I could tell you all about that one miracle.
Hold it!
We already know all about that too. Tell us about something related to this incident. I see. You want to know about incidents? Well then, let me tell you about it. And many incidents that made me the man I am today. Yes, if you have the time, I will tell you all about the upbringing of this great man.
Hold it!
You've told us all about that already as well. What we need now is your testimony. Did I really already tell you all about my upbringing? I don't recall doing so. Dr. Cosmos, perhaps you could save your boastful tales for later. If I must. Well, we peeked in through the control room door and...
Hold it!
It was so dark, you couldn't see this figure's face, isn't that right? Yes, the room is as deep and dark as outer space itself. Speaking of outer space, during that one launched 7 years ago. If it's about that Hat One miracle again, you can sod off and tell it to the stray mutt. Excellent idea. No reason why the animal world shouldn't deal with my greatness. And so they shall, but first your testimony. What happened next?
Hold it!
So in other words, you were fired at while you were at the control room door. That is correct. Something not quite right about that. Dr. Cosmos, the bullet this person fired hit you, isn't that right? Yes, it was a miracle. A miracle befitting a great history-making figure such as myself. The bullet the figure fired hit me while I was in the control room. But as the Cosmos would have it, the bullet bounced off my glorious Medal of Honor. In that case, the bullet should have wound up somewhere around the control room door. Well, we know that that wasn't the case because it fell in the thing, so... Dr. Cosmos was in the control room to the east. And while he was there, he was shot at by someone with a 10 caliber gun. But the bullet hit his metal, so he was able to escape with his life. Very lucky man. No wonder people think he's great. Hey, I'm pretty lucky myself, so he's a great man. Then I'm the king of all cosmos. Alright, now we have to go... I think we present the bullet, because, that would contradict the, This was, discovered on the south wall, not near the control room.
Objection!
Director Cosmos, I believe you were telling this great court a glorious lie. A great man like me tell a lie? Have you ever heard of such a thing in all of history? There's another good quote for you as well. Not only do bullets kill in one shot, but a great man would never tell a lie. In history, no great person in history has ever told a lie. Ever. No one. You heard it here. No more trophies I have to worry about? I don't think so. I think we're good for them for now. Just checking to see if we got any trophy stuff. According to your testimony, you entered an armor near the control room door. Mystery figure was standing in the middle of the boarding lounge. As you say, the figure fired a gun at you from this position, and the bullet would have traveled in this direction. Oh, we found that .10 caliber bullet here. I guess they just say 10 caliber bullet instead of .10 caliber, I don't know. This trajectory and where the bullet was actually found contradict each other. Dr. Cosmos, where were you really when you were being shot at? Also, this guy that we're doing the case for, he's on a Segway as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the human merry-go-round.
Objection!
Don't tell me you've forgotten already. Didn't the witness himself just tell you? The bullet hit is metal. Of this, there is no mistake.
Objection!
But in that case, the bullet should have been found in the east side of the room. Are you trying to say that you can explain this inconsistency? Yeah, I know what it means, but when someone's like, if I show you the thing, for example, when people are describing bullets, would they say a .10 caliber or would they just say a 10 caliber? Because or a 38 caliber. Do they say .38 caliber or do they say 38 caliber? Do they just say a 38 caliber? So I guess they just don't include the point. They just say 10 caliber, 38 caliber. Yeah. Of course. Didn't think so. What? Oh, great Director Cosmos. Is there something you'd like me to expound upon? You were in fact not in the control room to the east, were you? You were looking into the lounge from the door to the south, is that right? But yeah, you can see here he spinning on his Segway in the court, as you do. You just rock up in court. Yeah. You just rock up in court as on your Segway and just drive in and you know, give your testimony. Use your own brain. Your head must have some use other than housing that bird's nest. Bird's nest? Why does everyone pick on my hair? Director Cosmos and the detective witnessed the scene from the southern door. The killer fired them there, and that is why the bullet was found in the south. That makes some sense, actually. Also, the witness being at the southern door is rather favorable for the prosecution. Got a bad feeling about this. How about it, Director? If you don't tell the truth this time... Well, there goes the next pair of, there goes the next pair of handcuffs. His handcuffs. You will become rust upon my sword. I'd rather just cut down a great man. Alright, I'll tell the truth. Just put your sword away. You are correct. I, the great Yuri Cosmos. Just looking into the room from the southern door. That's the complete opposite of all the testimonies given so far. Now you have lost your possibility that a third person was in the room. I need to go check something. I think there's something wrong with my, let me just check. Thought there was something wrong with my stream for a second, so I went to check the thought it was something wrong with the PlayStation because it did this weird thing. I have how? The director and the detective were near the southern door. Meaning the killer couldn't have escaped through there. The western door required print recognition. The corridor beyond was filled with smoke. The only escape route left was the eastern control room door. And the only way to get through there was with Dr. Cosmos' fingerprints. In short, there would be no escape for any third person had there been one. A third person just disappeared. Like in one of Truce's magic tricks. Order! Order in the court! Dr. Cosmos, why did you tell such an outrageous lie? I'm getting the voices confused now as well. You were covering for the defendant, isn't that right? Yes, it was all for the love of my men. If I said I was in the eastern control room, it would mean the culprit could have escaped through the southern door. It would have meant that there could have been a third person. All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person. What a convoluted lie. Was he really covering for the defendant? It looks like we've come to a conclusion. That the defense's argument, the possibility of a third person has crumbled. It's over. Yikes, the judge is about to hand out his verdict. Think, Phoenix, think. It's a perfect time to try and turn my thinking around. If a third person had no way of escaping the scene, then what if one of the people at the scene was this third person? Hey, best viewer bot. See you later. Let me get rid of this for a second. See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bot. There we go. Nice to know you. Bye-bye, bot. What if one of the people at the scene was this third person? Wait, what if the whole premise is all wrong? Yeah, there's all different kinds of music that plays for certain sections. So, like, when we give a really decisive piece of evidence, that that each character has their own theme for when they give, like, decisive evidence and it starts playing, and it's like, oh, it's a big revelation. Dr. Cosmos said that he and Detective Arm rushed to the scene together. What if that premise isn't true? What if one of them reached the scene before the other one? If that person entered the lounge, then They would be the third person. The defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim and shot at the director. There doesn't appear to be any room for any argument against these claims. I will now render my verdict.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. There's still one possibility. This had better be good, Mr. Wright. It's not really a puzzle game. So again, the main core gameplay stuff is during the investigation, you're just doing a lot of examination of objects, gathering your evidence, talking to people. Every now and then you have to, like, counterpoint the other person's point. And then the trials themselves, it's a lot about just pressing and presenting evidence and, like, as you do. Kind of a puzzle, I guess. There is another series, that isn't a court-based game, but it's a puzzle-based game. The Professor Layton series, if you've ever played those, it's essentially the same thing where you're trying to solve a mystery, but there are a bunch of puzzles lying around as well. So all different types of logic puzzles and thing. Yeah, it's a mystery. It's a crime drama mystery with a bunch of wacky characters. It's a crime show. It's a crime show, but turned up to like 11 because none of the characters in these. Yeah. Well, if you didn't know, there is actually a crossover. There's a crossover between this character, so Phoenix Wright, and Professor Layton. So there actually is a crossover game where you can get the puzzle element and the crime thing element. There's actually a crossover between them that they did. And they're making a new Professor Layton game next year, and we're hoping for a members of the community of not only people that have followed me, but also we're really hoping for an Ace Attorney 7, because there has not been a new Ace Attorney game for 7 years, so. There's one and only person who could have escaped from the scene. That person would be the first person who arrived at the scene. Then upon entering the boarding lounge, the second person to arrive came via the southern door. That's why the first person fled from the room, using an escape route that was accessible only to them. Very well, let's hear more about this theory. Who is this one person who could have escaped from the boarding lounge? They said the first person who arrived, it was not these two. It would have been Candace, I think. Candace? Who is the one person who could have escaped from the boarding lounge? I think it was Candace, because she was the first one to find the body. So technically it would be her, I think.
Take that!
Just how did that person escape from the scene of the crime? I think I got it wrong, didn't I? No, you did get it wrong. Yeah, I did get it wrong. Okay. So what's that? Let me read the, Yeah, did you get the pun? Did you get the pun of the name? Oh, shit. So, another thing to keep in mind with these games is the characters have, puns for names. So, obviously Candace Arm is a pun of Candace Arm. She's also a bomb. She's a specialist, a detective in bomb cases. So her name is Candace Arm, and the person who killed her in the first case, his name is Ted Tenate, which is obviously a pun for detonate. So, I guess the only person in this list is,
Take that!
is it Blackwell? It isn't. No, it's not. It's Yuri then. Okay, never mind. I'm fishing. I am fishing for answers. I don't know why I'm doing that. The only person that could have been is... Who else is there? There's... None of these other I guess it has to be Yuri.
Take that!
I don't know why I'm guessing. But that's... Okay, this is the correct answer. Yeah, that's what I said. There's a lot of on-the-nose references and just a lot of, like... It's always the butler? No, it's always usually the janitor or, like, the gardener or something like that. It depends on what... It depends on the case. It's like the gardener, the janitor. You've always got a nosy neighbor that, like, knows too much information. It's like all those British crime shows. You watch you watch like all the British crime shows. It's like, oh, it's the neighbor that's like the person who, you know, the like Miss Marple and stuff. All these people that, like, could you imagine living in Midsummer and just all the murders that take place in that one particular area? Someone needs to make a map. They need to make a physical map and say, here is the map of, like, Midsummer, and here's where all the murders have taken place. Yeah. Of all the people who were at the scene, only the witness could have escaped. The director is the only one with the authority to open the control room door, after all. What that means... Exactly. The true identity of the third person is our current witness. Dr. Yumi Cosmos. There we go. Spin to win again. What? Yeah, I was just talking more about the show in general, but, Order! Order the court, I say! Mr. Wright, you explain yourself in more detail. But, like, the premise of all those British crime shows is, like, oftentimes it's not even detectives that are solving, it's just like, oh, hey, Miss Marple just shows up and she's, like, staying at the hotel that day. Oh, one of the people is just, like, they're really nosy neighbors and they just hear everything that's going on and all of a sudden they just poke around and just, like, find the ways to... Like, these criminals get undone by normal people, whereas, like, the police are just bumbling fools. Entered the boarding lounge alone. Detective Arm arrived after that end. Saw a suspicious figure was actually Dr. Cosmo standing in the lounge. That's why she fired those 2 warning shots. I've been hit on the starboard side. Miss Marple basically lives with all the fans killing people when she shows up to the convention. Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's what, that's... Also, here's a spin to win, guy on the Segway in the, doing his testimony. If anyone missed it. Just spinning like a Beyblade. Captain Wright, it's a direct hit on the enemy ship, sir. Magnificent shot. Warning shots fired from the enemy ship. Prepare to intercept. Cosmos, you've told a lie in this court once again! I've been hit on the board side! Yeah, that's more than a slight spin, that's Earth to Cosmos Control Center requesting permission to ask you return to reality. Like, all this banter is just so great. But my ship will not go down to anything less than the ultimate weapon of evidence.
Objection!
But I do have evidence. In fact... You can say that your battleship bears its scar. Dr. Cosmos is the third person or a Blackwell saw. Oh right, that's why it wasn't them. This third person fired Detective armed Dr. Cosmos with their gun. To return, the detective fired her warning shots. Isn't that how it really went down, Dr. Cosmos? It looks like you've deduced my miraculous tale of survival. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The mystery person fired upon us. Dr. Cosmos must have been the one who fired the 10 caliber gun. Detective Arm discovered him in the lounge. Only makes sense that he would have turned up and shot at her. Therefore, the evidence on the director's body is of a different kind of relevance than before. Once we compare it against another piece of evidence, the mark that you received from the third party will be all the proof we need. Prove that you were the one there in the lounge. Brace for further impact. Comparison against this piece of evidence will prove that you were the one in the lounge. It would be the... the bullet from Arm's gun, I think.
Take that!
38 caliber bullet found on the floor at the scene didn't hit the oxygen tank. It hit Director Cosmos' med. We have that ricochet mark on the metal analyzed. I'm sure the caliber will match up. If that mark proves to be from a 38 caliber bullet, it will prove that you are the third person we've been looking for. The bridge is destroyed, losing altitude. All hands abandon ship. If that's true, then what about the bullet that hit the oxygen tank? No, what's happening? Okay, no. I think my PlayStation just let me just I think my PlayStation just I think the PlayStation was like, you know what, this guy's spinning way too much. I need to just slow down a bit. I think it just hopefully it's just a normal crash. If it's the other one, I still have yeah, I'm only joking. It's it is working, but it's like maybe the PlayStation just realized, hey, like this guy's spinning too much. I can't handle this. I do have a backup save, or it does autosave after so long. No, this might actually be a reset. I might need to actually reset this. No, it said something went wrong. It doesn't say what went wrong. I might have to reset my game. Let me just do a couple of things, see if I can, yeah, it's saying something went wrong. Technically we didn't lose progress because the game autosaves after so long, after so many different things have gone by. I'm gonna try closing down remote play and doing it from start. If that doesn't work, then it will just take a quick break to fix the problem. I'm not losing, oh, does that not autosave? Does the game not autosave for Lies of P? It's a Souls game, so I'm assuming there's no saves, right? Let me try this again. I'm just gonna make sure that it's working. It could be a problem with the PlayStation. I've closed remote play down. Okay, it's definitely something wrong with the PlayStation, so I will be back in a second. Let me just get this thing. So while I am doing that, I will put a break, some break music on while we're waiting for that. I will be back in like, what, a couple of minutes probably? Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, alright, I'll be back in about a couple of minutes. Let me just set this up correctly. Mute that. That doesn't need to be muted at the moment. Put this on, mute myself, and... we're back. So, I went in and checked to see what was wrong. The PlayStation was completely off. And, yeah, the PlayStation was completely turned off. I rebooted it, and it had to, music was banging, yeah. The PS4 was off completely. I turned it back on, I had to wait for the system storage to recover. Then I had to reset it. Then I had to, after resetting it, had to wait for the repair. I had to repair my external hard drive because it said, oh, I didn't disconnect it properly, despite the fact that it turned off. What am I doing? Keep loading this up. So yeah, that's what happened. So I had to completely wait. I had to wait for the system storage to recover, wait for it to restart, then wait for the external hard drive to tell me, hey, you didn't turn me off properly, even though the thing turned itself off, and then I had to wait for it to repair, and then all of it works. It's not like last time where I had to actually physically put everything back on, so we'll just restart back from wherever I'll make a save just in case. But we should be back. We'll just have to wait a little bit. That is what happened, so, but yeah, I'm sorry about, that. I cannot be in control of what my PS4 decides to do, but, yeah, the music was, I picked the break music just because it's like, hey, I like wrestling themes, and I figured, let's just, like, put a medley of them together and just, like, do that, so. I think we'll be back to, well, we should be back to thing now. Let's just gotta wait for it to connect up. Hey, we've got sound. We have sound, we have, get into the game, we have, I've gotta bring it back into the thing now. Where's Remote Play? I'm on 8 viewers. I kind of didn't want to have this happen, but it is what it is. Where is properties here? Yeah, change to this. Change it back. Please pop up on the screen. Okay. Does the sound good? I gotta wait for that. Alright, I think we're back now. I'm gonna make a save. I'm gonna make a save now in case something else happens. The game does autosave after so long, but I want to make a manual save in case, it's just where did the last game save happen? We are at 517. Where was my last save? Today's the 3rd. Okay, I'll just load the autosave wherever it is. It wasn't what I was hoping for, but it's what's happened. But yeah, glad that you enjoyed the music. I quite liked it as well. I'm not sure where we I'm gonna just make a save here. Doesn't look like I've lost anything, so we'll just make a save. I'm not gonna end the stream here, but I'll just I don't remember what we were up to. I think we were about to give the evidence to something, weren't we? It didn't take me 13 minutes, surely, to fix that problem. Cosmic, you've told a lie in the court once again! Like, we knew it on the port side. The enemies are calling reinforcements. Alright, okay, now it's, we've already seen this one. Yeah.
Objection!
I'll make a save again when I get to the point where I think we were up to. I've already seen this already. I think we presented the bullet already. I think we were at the point where we presented the bullet. still past this, still past this. Yeah, I think we're all past this as well. Yeah, it's this one here. It was where we gave the bullet. It's like this around this point. Because this is metal. We have that ricochet mark. Yeah, this is we're up to the ricochet mark sections here. If that mark proves to be a 38 caliber bullet, prove that you were the third person I've been looking for. Bullet just destroyed, losing altitude. All hands abandoned ship. I think it's this point here. I'm gonna make the save now, just so I know that that's where we finished up on, or not where we finished, where we. Just in case it crashes again or shots off. If that's true, then what about the bullet that hit the oxygen tank? It's a 10 caliber bullet. In other words, it's a bullet fired by Yuri Cosmos. Isn't that right, Director? No, you've got it all wrong. What? The engines have started again. It's a miracle, I'm not going down yet. Witness, stop this at once and confess to the truth. If you don't want the history books to say that you're a great man and was a great liar, and accept your fate and tell the truth. Are you giving me orders? Me, the great director of the Cosmos Space Center? But the Cosmos will rolls on me! Yeah, we're on case 4. This has been a, I loved it. I'm loving this. This is my favorite case, I think, so far in this game. I think this is my favorite case out of all the games, all the cases so far in this trilogy. I'm loving this case. The trial, the investigation's really good. Solomon Starbuck is just an amazing character, and now Yuri is also just spinning like a top. This is an amazing case. I'm loving it so far, and I'm still like, wondering what's happening with the connections between Aura, the robots. Athena seems to know who the robots are. Case 1's connections. There's the. I'm loving this case. Like, this is such an entertaining case. I'm loving it. Somebody get me off this thing! Yeah, I don't mind the robots. I think the robots are cool. Solomon Starbuck is like my favorite character, I think, out of this trilogy. Order! Order in the court! Will someone please stop the witness from spinning? You missed yesterday's stream, Panda. The guy that we're defending used a parachute in the courtroom. Thank goodness we were able to stop him from spinning off the face of the earth. While he was twirling, I took the liberty of running an analysis on the mark of the metal. It was made by a 38 caliber bullet, matching it with the size of Detective Arm's firearm. No, it's all good, but like you might still see it again. But yeah, our defendant, it's an astronaut that's afraid of space. That's why I said, are you ready to confess the truth, witness? No, you've got it all wrong. This is just a misunderstanding. You're gonna start piling on more lies? Yeah, it's all good. It's not a... I have a really bad streaming schedule for the UK and the US in some cases. Europe in general. But yeah, it's all good. I upload everything to YouTube anyway, so it's not a big deal. Looks like it. No matter how many lies he tells, I'll just expose them one by one. I'll make that big liar tell the truth. Yeah, I'm loving this case. This case is, at my, if I would say so far this is my favorite case of this trilogy. It's hard to compare to the ones in the other trilogies because I haven't played them in such a long time, but, This case is so much, this case is so much fun, and I'm also happy that it's fun for, the viewers as well. Alright, I guess we're going to the next chapter. Director Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They are claiming that you are this third person. Yeah, I can't explain how much I like this case. Yuri's been a great character, Starbuck has been a great character, the investigation's been really good with all the different characters, the tie-ins between the first and the fourth case. The trials have been, just a great... I don't know what to say, like, it's just... So the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. I only have one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly or very quickly? Evidence doesn't lie, Director Cosmos, so don't try to talk your way out of this. Yeah, see, the only case that I'm iffy on is the third one. But then they still had that, once it got to the point where they were trying to break down means and stuff, that's when it got good. It got really good. I liked the means breakdown of the third case, so it still had a redeeming case. But every other case has been so good. Fine, I'll tell you the truth. It's all just as you say, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was in there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Alma. When she arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would mistake me for the killer, so I escaped the control room. Like, if I told someone... I haven't finished the game yet, but if I had to tell someone... If someone asked me which was a game of the series that I would recommend to play... as the first one, this might be a good choice. This might be an actual good choice. Like, obviously I would still suggest the first game because they all have relevance to... they all have relevance to each other and stuff like that as well. But this game would be a nice start for someone to, pick up and just, if you were just looking at some really good cases, and, you know, why people love the series, I think this is a good game for that. But I would always recommend starting from the start. I came up behind Detective Alma and pretended to be the second on the scene. What a troublesome old man you are, with such convoluted deeds and thoughts. I see, so then... Are you still insisting that you did not kill the victim? Of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer. The great Yuri Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Hold it!
Now hold on just one moment. We just proved a few minutes ago that the third party that Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Blackwell saw was you. No, it wasn't me. I saw the bosun as well. If I were the killer, why would I like to cover for Starbuck? I would just leave him to take the fall. It is an excellent point. All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person. Well, it makes some sense if you told those lies to cover Mr. Starbuck. Still, lies are lying. Athena? So Director Cosmos claims he's not the culprit, but where's the truth? I just remembered. I have alibi. Ms. Blackwell said she saw the killer at 10 AM, correct? Yes, and? Well, I was on the 4th floor helping with the evacuation effort. Ask any member of the staff you'd like. They'll corroborate me. The director is not fibbing to the court for once. I confirm that he has an alibi for the time specified. You're claiming that Mr. Blackwell, Miss Blackwell saw the killer commit the crime first at 10 AM. And that you arrived at the court, at the lounge after that. Yes, and I believe the person I saw is the same person that Miss Blackwell saw. Although it was pitch black, so it was more of a shadowy figure than less of a person. I couldn't actually see their face, but it was definitely the silhouette of an earthman. long as he has an alibi, can't very well claim Director Cosmos was the killer. No, we can't. Then again, maybe we don't need to yet. I wonder if he was really covering for Mr. Starbuck. Your Honor, the defense moves to have the director testify about the person he saw. Very well, Director Cosmos, your testimony, please. Okay, what I really witnessed. As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot. But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door, and well, the launch pad one door. And the control room should have been shut tight to the killer. Alright, press all the statements as usual, because there's a chance that they will give us some extra information, of course. So you were shot at by the killer as well. Then they disappeared. Yes, though luckily no harm came to my glorious body. Unfortunately, the bullet hit Darren's oxygen tank. I know because I heard a bang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured. Wait, but I thought the bullet hit his metal. That was like an arms bullet, remember? Right, what a mess this is turning into. So let's see. Dr. Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Terran and his killer, culprit shot a 10 caliber bullet at him. Right, but it actually hit Mr. Terran's oxygen tank and ruptured it. Then the killer disappeared and the director went to the boarding lounge. It's hard. You have to double press, even triple press. Just oh, do you mean like it might be one of those instances where it might be one of those instances where you have to press a later statement and then press like a statement after. Sorry, before that. I think that might be what it is. It sounds like it's a bit difficult. I haven't gotten to there yet, but we'll just to see when we do. But I usually always press the statements just because, usually, if it doesn't lead to anything, then you know that you have to present. If it does lead to something, then, you know, I try to, figure it out and try not to press the ones that I want to think, I guess. Judging by his medal, it looks like one of them almost took him out too. Summary, but that doesn't explain where our mystery killer went. See, I could imagine something... I guess the reason why some of the stuff might not be as difficult is... if you've already played the games in the past, you're probably not going to have as much difficulty as someone who's never played them before, but some of these cases, was it Rise from the Ashes? Rise from the Ashes, the case for Rise from the Ashes. I can't remember which game that's from. It's either, is it the original game? I've seen lots of people talk about Rise from the Ashes, the actual case, and a lot of people saying it's very, very difficult. That's a very, very difficult case to try and solve without needing some sort of help. Especially if you're trying to not, like, constantly just check everything. Yeah, it was the OG game. Trying to get that case completed without a guide in some cases is actually... I've seen a lot of people struggling with that case. Dr. Cosmos, I was wondering if you could elaborate on when the figure disappeared. I'm ashamed to admit I tried to hide myself when I was shot at, but... when I peeped back into the lounge, the real killer was gone. I rushed into the lounge straight away to investigate. But what I found was Terran, with a knife in his chest and Starbuck out cold on the floor. So we have a culprit who vanished from the scene that had no escape route. Vanished without a trace. It's truly like one of the great mysteries of the cosmos.
Silence!
Of the ages indeed, but I'd rather know. But I guess the good thing is, like, there's no difficulty. I saw some people were making suggestions about, like, what should the new Ace Attorney game have? What should the new Ace Attorney game have? And someone said that they should have time limits, and I don't know if I would want that. I think that's a little bit... Like, I don't think I would want time limits. The final case of Spirit of Justice almost as long as Rise of the Ashes. I don't know how long all the cases are. I know case 3... Case 3 for Apollo Justice was, like, close to 9 hours long. Someone actually went through and, so the autoplay feature, they did an autoplay feature for every single game, just to see how long, they take, and, it took them nearly 9 hours to complete some cases. How a fibbing leech such as you can be lauded as great. A great man is always misunderstood in his own time. 7,000 characters, I think it would have to be more than 7,000 characters. Way more than 7,000. Maybe it means 70,000? 7,000 seems too small. Considering, like, when you look at the breakdown in that particular case, for Rise of the Ashes, like, yeah, 7,000 characters would be way too short, because, like, look at the breakdown alone in, look at the breakdown alone from that case and how long that lasts, where it's just a continuous amount of letters going by. That would add up really fast. 7,000 words might be more accurate. Because characters would imply each individual letter. He must remain true to himself, even if those around him don't understand. Might be the first true statement he said all day. But how do you suppose this person managed to vanish so suddenly? Simple. Because of a space boy himself. When he was spotted by the director and Aura, he quickly feigned unconsciousness. That would certainly take all the mystery out of the idea of a vanishing culprit. I want to raise an objection, but I don't have any counter evidence. Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbuck on the floor? No, because it was as dark as a black hole in there. Didn't see Starbuck until the other person vanished and I entered the room. That wasn't exactly helpful. I'm prepared to accept your surrender, right, Dono? I guess it would make sense, though, if Spirit of Justice was... Technically, Spirit of Justice was the last game released in English. So, if the final case is as long as, like, Rise from the Ashes, I could only imagine that is probably because, hey, we want to, if we're not making a game for a while, let's go out with, like, the biggest, like, possible case and, like, try and do something grandiose. As, like, what the... Because I'm not sure how many people you would ask. Would Rise of the Ashes be considered the best case of the entire series? It would be a debate for sure, but... is Rise of the Ashes the best case in the entire series? You could debate if it's the best... Like, I like the fourth case in the first game quite a bit, so you could debate between the fourth and the fifth case of which one's your favorite in the first game, but... It would definitely be in the debate about whether it's great or not. 9.7k lines, and Spirit of Justice 9.6. Okay, so lines specifically, that's still a lot considering that you only get 2 lines typically per each time someone talks. It's usually only 2 lines for the most part. That definitely adds up. There you go. That's still a lot of lines. Think about it. This is a line and a bit. Can't find any holes in this testimony, but I can't give up. Mr. Wright, why don't you let me help? While the director was giving his testimony, I detected a cacophony of discord. Which means he's hiding his true feelings from us. This just might help us find out what happened to our vanished killer. It'll be great, Athena. Let's see what you can do for him. Got it, boss. Wouldn't want to miss this chance to delve into a great mind. Yuri Cosmos, prepare to hand over the secrets of your heart to me. For a second there, I thought you was going to say, prepare to have your head examined. Alright. So now we're going to try and embrace our inner feelings. We've got to be our inner psychologist. Alright, so he already read his lines, so I'm not going to read them a second time. Let's just see what his, let's just see what he appears. Keep in mind that Investigations 2 has not been released in English as of yet, so that's going to be even longer. That's going to be even longer, because the English language is much longer than Japanese. So 32.4 lines in Japanese is going to be much longer in English. So, and that's never been released outside of Japan. So that's definitely going to that's going to be a massive game. I'm not sure how many cases there are in those games. I'm assuming it's around 4 or 5. Usually they have at least 4 cases, so what, you're looking at around 8k per case? Average playtime about 30 hours. There's more kanji in the English alphabet, but kanji don't represent each individual letter. They represent certain sounds, if that makes sense. So I can, so in a case of a wrestler's name, for example, their name might be 9 letters long, but their written kanji will only be 4. Because kanji doesn't go by the letters, it goes by the sound. So, one kanji could represent a certain sound, like ka or ji. So, there's more kanji letters, but there's the kanji themselves represent sound. Whereas the English alphabet, we have 26 letters, and then we make the sound, you know, so yeah. And plus, when you're looking at Japanese, there's like 8 or 9 different versions of kanjis and stuff to deal with. But yeah, these games last a while, but I'm getting my fill out of these. Okay, what are we dealing with here with feelings? So you're feeling surprise and sadness, which that would make sense. Sadness and surprise, of course. Wait, what? Hang on a second. A hit to avoid getting shot would be sadness. I'm not sure if... You get hiragana and katakana, those are the okay, kind of thing. Kanji can be full strings of kana, yeah. Yeah, you sound like you know, understand more than I do, but, yeah, there's more actual, it's more of the sound thing. That's why you will see in speedrunning in certain games is faster in Japanese, because there's less, letters and less, words that need to be spoken. So it's, in terms of text-based, it's actually, usually it's faster in Japanese because there's less to load. So you can skip text much faster in Japanese. In some cases, not every case though. So that's, no feelings there is sus. No feelings here, I think that should be fine. Sadness on the launchpad door? It's a little bit weird. Maybe... So maybe it's in relation to that being why he's sad. You're tempted to stream during Duolingo? Oh, you're learning for the Duolingo, This is a bit of an interesting one. I'm thinking that it has to do with this. This here. So he hit to avoid getting shot, which is fine, but then there's no emotion here. There's no emotion here, but if someone vanished into thin air, wouldn't you be surprised that someone would just pop up and not do anything? Now, see, in this case, you've got to pinpoint a specific, in this point, so this is the mood matrix. The best way to look at the mood matrix is, you have to look at, all of the statements, and they should be feeling certain ways. So, top left is happiness, is so obviously be feeling happy. Top right is angry. Bottom left is, sadness, and bottom right is surprise. So, I'm thinking in this particular statement, the fact that that Yuri saw someone vanish into thin air suggests to me that you should be acting surprised, because if someone just vanished, if you saw somebody and then all of a sudden didn't see somebody, shouldn't you be surprised that that person just vanished into thin air? So that's what that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So that's where I'm going with that. But I think this is going to be a good point for me to stop. We're going to leave you on a cliffhanger right here. We're going to get everyone to start thinking about, like, what do they think is going to be the stuff with the mood matrix here. We're going to continue this in the next stream. We're going to break down Yuri's emotions, and we're going to try and figure out how he's feeling in the next stream, I think. So we've been going for nearly 3.5 hours. I think this is a good point to stop. And I don't know how much more longer this trial has to go, so I don't want to go too long. And also, I want to also check to make sure that my PlayStation's okay. Just in case there's something else I need to check up on. Because I will need to reload and, make sure that everything's not, nothing's corrupted, nothing has happened to my, any of the other games that I've been playing. I'm near the end. I'm not sure how much longer I would have, though, that's the issue. Because I like to press all the statements, I like to think through everything. I'm chatting away with people as well, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. So I think if I finish this early enough, then we can stream for tomorrow. So, or the next stream, I should say. Plus, we had a good stream today. We got 2 raids at the same time, which was really cool. That's happened twice in 2 days now, actually, so I'm really happy that happened. But and also, it seems like a lot of people have been coming and enjoying these cases. The wacky characters, like, if we can get more people to enjoy Ace Attorney, I will gladly, like, stream more of these. Like, I want to do the investigations games, because I've never played those before. I've already played the other ones, but I might go back to those at some point. But there's just so many games to play. There's too many games to play, and not enough time to play them. But I recommend anyone who's never played any of these games, pick them up, give them a shot. Like, you can play. They're really user-friendly because you can pick them up, and you can save whenever you want. You never have to worry about like, oh, I have to reach this point in time before I go here, or I have to finish the case off before then. You can pick up the games and save whenever you want. So if you only have 15 minutes, you can play the game for 15 minutes. If you have 5 hours, you can sit back and play for 5 hours. Or you can tune in and watch me stream them as well. Ace also streams these games. So if you want to ever check them out, then they also stream these too. They're a little bit ahead of me. They're on to the 3rd game, but you know, always willing to pass on more people to other people who play these games too, because these are just really, really fun. I always recommend these games. They're just nice and chill. You get you get your serious moments, you get your emotional moments, you get your really funny moments. You've seen so many of them already today, and we're still gonna keep going. We're still gonna see more of those, and we'll see where we go from here. We're gonna pinpoint his emotions, and we're gonna break down and figure out what's happening with this case, how it connects to case 1. Again, really enjoying this case. I think this is my favorite case of the trilogy so far. It may be one of my favorite cases of all the games. We'll get to them when we get there. But yeah, we'll see what, all these characters so far have been really good. I loved Solomon. Solomon was such a great character. Inspector was here in last stream. He saw all the, hilarity that we went through with, Solomon in, that case. Great character. And then now we're getting Yuri today, spinning like a top. Yours is case 5. We'll get to case 5. We'll get there. We'll get to case 5. We'll get to case 5. I love the robots as well. Those are also really cool characters. I don't have anything bad to say about this case at all so far. I'm loving everything about it. I'm loving everything about it. So we'll continue with this next time that we stream. Probably will hopefully be tomorrow. If it's not, then we'll figure it out, but it'll be at some point. So with all that being said, be sure to like, yeah, he's really good as well. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Every like, comment, and subscription for this video gets to monetization. My content for you all. It's kind of my sister needs to find. I upload everything to my YouTube channel. Right now, I have to still post up all my links. YouTube is still being a butt about the advanced features that they got rid of, even though I've been using it for 2 years. So all my links get posted up in here now, at least until like that all passes, as well as my games list. For all the games I've played so far on stream, all the neat organized playlists, all the upcoming games we have to play, all the games that we've got DLCs and things coming out for as well. You can find everything on YouTube as well, all the neat organized playlists, as I said before. So if you ever miss a stream, or you ever miss a part, or you want to just go back and relive some of the memories we've made along the way, they're always available on YouTube. I've not had anything deleted off of YouTube. If I do get copyright strike, I usually try and get those down and fixed as soon as possible. So there's always content to be shared around, and thing as well for all of my speedrun stuff as well. Working on more switching things up segments and parts of games we're finished on stream 2. More trying to show speedruns, go to our speedruns and Pokemon analysis when I'm doing those. The live notes are all done, so eventually I'll get to those. I'm about halfway through Persona 5 Tactica to get the speedrun for that done too. For my follower incentives, we're almost at our next follower incentive, being 200, the big 200. I'm getting very close to affiliate, so I think as we keep pushing, we'll just keep going from there, and we'll see how everything goes. And also the individual level speedruns for Octopath Traveler are coming up as well. I'm still working on those, but that's going to take me a bit of time too. And you'll also get a notification when I go live watching on YouTube. For my Twitch, 200 followers, as I said before, live challenge speedruns, going to be 0 and 100 kills ninja. Live is what the inspiration is for Undertale, so essentially 0 kills and 100 kills ninja is your pacifist and genocide route. So we're going to do something different for those. As well as maybe the Allstead boss rush. We're very close to affiliate, as I said before. Looking at about a 2.5 at the moment. Getting very, very close. We're getting really, really close to that. Yeah, I saw that. Inspector told me yesterday, he said Edgeworth is getting a skin in Among Us. I want a Godot skin, but I want him to have a coffee cup on his head. Or the visor. The coffee cup or the visor. Has to be something like that. But that is definitely real. We definitely need that. And we need Francisca with her whip. We need Francisca as well. Also going to be able to work on a bunch of subscriber emails and incentives as well. And you'll also get a notification when I go watching on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter to be notified when I go live. Which I'm on Discord. Oh, you want Taka the Hawk? Yeah, a Simon skin with the judge. The judge skin with Taka on his head. Also, we need that as well. Which I'm in Discord, essentially invite to my friends' Discord server, close to 2,000 members, still growing strong. I can give a source as well. I'm up to there and try to get a notification when I go up there as well. And finally, if you know who get my stream overlay that I use for all my future content going forward, you can find a link down below to for that as well. Before I get out of here, I usually go and raid somebody. I do take on raid requests if anyone would like those. Otherwise, we'll see if there's anyone online. Ace, if you are live, I will, if you are live, I can raid you if you would like that. Otherwise, I will, see if there's anyone else. 9? Okay. Let's see if there's anyone else online that's currently streaming. Anyone that is currently streaming right now that isn't affiliated. Like, I do want to raid people that are playing this game, but at the same time, I want to try and avoid spoilers too much. So, you know what, I will send some, I'm trying to get people to affiliate, because I'm nearly there myself, so there's only one person online right now, so I'll just send you over to them. Playing some Fortnite right now. Let me figure out why this isn't letting me mute. Okay, don't know why. They're playing Fortnite at the moment, but I'm trying to get people to affiliate it because I'm getting close there myself, so I will send you all over to them before I'm done. Yeah, might as well do that. So, thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day night, wherever you are. I will see you all later. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for all the follows, the raids, the lurking, the viewership, the chatting. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you all in the next stream.